Is your morning coffee or tea sabotaging your low carb diet? It's not the coffee or the tea itself, it's what you're putting in it. Hi, I'm Eileen. 3 years ago, Alzheimer's symptoms forced me to retire early. But since then, I've reversed the worst of those symptoms and lost 30 pounds simply by changing my diet. And that includes keeping my coffee and my tea clean. Now, like many people, I thought I was making healthy choices for my family. I bought 1% or skim milk for the Mister's coffee and the pink stuff to sweeten it. And every once in a while, I'd get that vanilla flavor creamer for a special treat. Sound familiar, anyone? Then I began learning about eating low carb. I looked into my choices, my skim milk and the pink stuff, and I was shocked to discover that these healthy choices were loaded with carbs and artificial ingredients, damaging seed oils, and had no health benefits. I am seeing on my labels that skim milk has 12 grams of carbs per cup. And let's not even talk about the pink stuff. We always knew that was bad. We always knew that was all artificial. And the flavored creamers, mostly sugar. The dairy-free varieties, all seed oil. Ladies, this is terrible stuff. Dr. Kate Shanahan tells us that seed oils are far more dangerous than a little bit of sugar. When we start the day with a sugar spike, we usher in energy crashes and constant hunger. What a terrible combination. So how do we fix it, whether you're gulping coffee or sipping on tea? Let's start with the sweeteners. Now, sugar is the preferred sweetener of millions, and many do not want to give it up for something unnatural like the pink stuff. And they have a point. I am all about clean food. I have two suggestions here. One, well, it may be surprise you to learn that there are more than two choices. When you go to a diner, you will see that there are packets of all different colors, not just the pink, but also the yellow and the blue. Most of these non-pink packet sugar substitute options are natural sweetener. Whether you're sweetening your coffee, your tea, or both, I urge you to test one of the other colors. I won't tell you which is best. Everybody has their own particular tastes. And right off the bat, it's not going to be your favorite, but you can wean yourself along. And by wean, I mean this. For a week or two, use your usual sweetener, but put in a little bit of your new choice. Stay there for a week or two and then maybe go 75-25. Stay there for a week or two and then 50-50. You get what I mean. Will it be your favorite? No, but and no one promised you a hot fudge sundae for breakfast every morning. Like you will adapt. It will be fine. Now, my other suggestion, I said there were two. Instead of moving to another sweetener, why not just wean yourself off of sweet coffee altogether? Oh, yes, you can. You can do this. Same process as above, just use a little less sweetener. I wouldn't say every day. Let this stretch out for a few weeks at a time until you get to the point where you don't even want the sweetness in there. It turns out that any sweet flavor will trigger your brain into wanting more to eat. So it is best to try and kill off our sweet tooth. It's certainly best not to wake it up first thing in the morning. Consequently, I don't use any sweeteners in my coffee or my tea. It is very freeing, I tell you. I tell you because the mister won't listen to me. But that brings us to another game changer, the milk you choose. He is all ears about the milk. The mister really didn't mind giving up the skim milk. Who would? When my darling daughters carried in oat milk and almond milk, he was all for it. Well, yeah, I changed my mind on those. The deal with milk is this. Let's stick with milk for a minute. When milk and cream are separated, the sugars, the lactose is milk sugar, stays with the milk, and the fat stays with the cream. So we have been told for decades, since I was a wee one, and that's been a long time, that we should be eating low fat for our health. Yeah, it's all a lie. We need that natural fat and we don't need any of those sugars. So the problem with oat milk and almond milk is they're trying to replicate that skim milk, low fat milk. So they're going to have sugars and they're not going to have any natural healthy fat in them. Oat milk's the worst. There are some plain almond milks that you can find that are fine, but why? Because again, there's no nutrition there. You're missing an opportunity for something best, right? If almond milk is better than skim milk, what's best? Butter, cream, MCT oil. I know some of those seem extreme. But for most people, cream would be a delightful alternative, don't you think? Butter sounds a little weird, but there are many keto advocates who enjoy butter in their coffee every morning. And MCT oil sounds a little scary scientific, but it's just a derivative of coconut oil, and brains love it. I usually take my coffee black, but when I need a little brain boost, which is more often than I care to admit, I will use my frother and give myself a nice little MCT oil boost in my coffee. Now, the mister, uh, he's now off of the oat milk onto the almond milk. More and more, he's choosing heavy cream. A word to the wise, though, about the MCT oil. The mister did try it once, only once. I tried to warn him. If you're not used to MCT oil, a large sudden dose can, let's just say, keep you close to home. Start small. And yes, heavy cream works beautifully in tea as well, especially for those of you who enjoy a nice like chai tea. Is that how you say it? Or a robust Earl Grey? Oh, wait. Are you afraid of the joy of adding heavy cream and other natural fats to your coffee? Don't be. It's not surprising. We've been lied to, but don't be. Healthy natural fat does not end up in your fat cells. We need it. We need it every day to support our hormone health and more. What about those fancy flavored coffees, huh? What about a pumpkin spice this time of year or a peppermint mocha? There are a few different approaches to creating these tasty treats, and most involve, surprise, a high amount of sugar and possibly seed oils. Terrible and terrible. If you must indulge in one every so often, so be it. But just recognize that you are taking a significant carb hit. Like approach that pumpkin latte like you might an occasional ice cream treat, not a daily morning coffee ritual. Mm-mm. There is good news here. There are better options than having a coffee or tea that's made with those flavored syrups. You can have a flavored coffee that's made with flavored coffee beans, or a flavored tea that's made with flavorful tea leaves. When your leaves and your beans are naturally flavored, you are not getting the carb hit. So go on out and explore what's available in your grocery store in the ground flavored bean aisle. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. All right. I know all of this can sound overwhelming, especially if you've been relying on sugary creamers and sweeteners and your coffee as your life sustenance every day. But trust me, small changes make a big difference. And you probably don't want to change your whole diet overnight, but let's start cleaning it up a step at a time. And cleaning up the carbs in your coffees and tea is a great first step. What is your coffee or tea ritual, by the way? I'd love to know your favorite tips and the worst struggles, because maybe I missed something. It's very likely I missed something. Thank you for spending time with me today. Let's stay strong, wise, kind, and good by choosing good food for good health. YouTube thinks you'll like this video next.